In a relationship?
Yes. What do you bring to the table? Yo, Craze Ace, thank you for the gifted 20 subs, man. Really appreciate it.
I'm really kind and caring. I'm fun to be around. I like to make other people happy. I have a good job. Yeah,
Good job.
just a nice person.
But really quick on the job thing, do you think
Oh yeah,
that...
I just quit my job to go full-time as a content creator, but I think that will be successful as well.
But like, so the question is, what do you bring to the table in a relationship? Do you think your job is something that you bring to the table?
Yeah, also stability, and we have money to go on vacation and do fun stuff and go out for dinner.
But do you think in the calculus of what your boyfriend, or any man for that matter, cares about, do you think your job is high up there in terms of what men, in terms of making an assessment of how attractive you are to him?
I think my boyfriend really likes it that I follow my passion. And I mean, you talk a lot about your job because it's a big part of your life. So I think having something interesting to talk to and having money to do fun stuff works. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, mostly the fact that I'm caring, that I'm fun, I think that's good.
But in general, do you think that men typically highly prioritize a woman's career in terms of the calculus of what they find attractive?
I don't know.
How about this? Do you disagree with and the whole panel can answer this. Do you disagree with the following statement? Men do not care, generally speaking, about your educational achievement or your career or how much money you make.
I don't think they care about how much money you make,
But they care about what?
I do think they care about what your education is and what kind of job you have, yeah.
They care about what kind of job you have. But I mean, so that would to some degree tie into your earnings, but perhaps not if you're like a feminist studies or some shit. So you think most men care about that?
Roth_PSA donated $200. 07 Mason.
Yo, Rath, thank you so much for the TTS, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Good to see you in the chat. So how about this? Just going around the table. Do you think, how did I frame it? Agree or disagree? Men don't care about women's careers. Hold on, let me frame it a little better. Agree or disagree? A woman's career does not make her more attractive to a man, generally speaking.
Generally, yeah, I would agree with that, but
Okay.
it depends on what the man is looking for, like what kind of woman he wants.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
I think men do care.
So you disagree then? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine. What about you?
Yeah, same. I think men do care.
Men do care? Okay.
For me personally, they care, but like if I had just like a normal job, I feel like most men don't care because like if like as a man you're in the provider role, like you would be the provider anyway, so my job would matter less than yours. But like obviously, you know, a woman should be educated and like, you know, have like ambition. So I think that matters
You mean
over the
when
type of job.
when you say ambition, what kind of ambition? Career ambition?
Just like with anything. So like maybe she doesn't have the best job, but she is really ambitious in artwork, or, you know, she really likes making YouTube, or just like has like a hobby where she can be creative and like, I don't know, just show that, you know, she has ambition to achieve goals, like no matter how big or small, I guess.
Ambition. So career ambition.
Kind of with anything.
Okay. All right. What about you? What do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. So, agree or disagree? Men, in general, do not care about a woman's career in terms of it making him more attracted to her.
No, I don't think men really care.
Okay, Maddie?
I don't think they care about career either, but I kind of agree with her on the other, like the passions and the hobbies and things like that aside from a career.
I'm not even sure about that one, but Jake, or well,
No, I don't care at all about your career, but I do like it when a woman has interests though, and has things that she's interested in. Because
Yeah.
if she likes reading books and if she likes like making arts and crafts or something like that, then I like that because they can do things in their spare time and it makes them more interesting to talk to. Because you do have to talk to this person when you're old.
Yeah.
do you though? Couldn't you just like she's in the other room and you're just kind of
Yeah, exactly. She needs something to do. So it's like, you
mean,
go
I'm-
do your
I'm a-
thing.
I'm a big
I do
talker
my
as well,
thing.
cleaning?
Cleaning. Sure, yeah. I have a
that's the
passion for
hobby?
cleaning.
Yael, what do you think?
Yeah, I think probably generally don't care as much as like women would care about a guy's career, but I mean, I think it's also important to like, if a woman does have a career, that you should probably like what her career is or like find it interesting. I don't know, because that ties into what her hobbies could be depending on her career. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want it to be useless either, though.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be useless. Like, I would ideally have my wife working for my business with me and being able to do like the emails and being competent in a way and not just being a sack.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if she's not just fumbling all over the place and has no.
And also, if you go out of town for a week and you're like, hey, you need to take care of the kids and hold it down at home, you need to be able to make sure that she's like, yeah, cool, I got it.
Yeah. I think, at least for me, what I would look for is, because I mean, once you kind of get into a place where you're earning such amount of money, I would want a girl who's ready to help me with my mission. And this is for long-term partnership, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, well, you could have your 50, 60, 70K career, or if we're going to be long-term partners, have kids or whatever, if you can free me up by helping me, and then that can enable me to go on and make an additional $200,000 a year, it just makes way more sense for you to quit whatever you're doing and come help me.
Yep, 100%.
Like just the math of it. Okay, you can have your 60K career, or by helping me, I earn us an additional $200,000 a year. It's a no-brainer at that point.
Definitely.
So if you can if you can help out, and you don't even necessarily even have to be even involved with the business, although you could be. It could be just like, how can you free up time for me, make my life easier so I can go out and kill it for the both of us? That's kind of where my head's
There's a
at.
big difference for a guy between operating at 95% and 105%. And if a woman can make that difference, if the guy's already high achieving, then it'll make a bigger financial difference than your career or your job.
I had something for Selena about her career.
Oh yeah,
That's probably
A rewarding career.
her porn ambitions. She needs to be more ambitious in her porn career. She needs to sleep with more men. Yeah, you go. Okay. All right. I don't know where I'm going with that.
What was the question?
I totally forgot. What do you bring to the table? Did we get everybody? I think.
Where did we get to? I think we only got here.
Oh man. Okay. All right. What do you bring to the table?
What do I bring to the table? Well, the obvious. I can cook, clean. I'm fun to be around. I love to go on adventures together. I think that the person who is with me is blessed to never be bored. I think that's a huge thing. Inspiration as well.
Never be bored.
Yeah. I love being busy. I love adventures.
Red flag.
Really? Yeah, sure. I mean, we could go to raves together, or we could just game together, play D&D together.
When a
all
girl
that kind of
says,
stuff.
"You'll never be bored with me," all I just think about is there's going to be drama.
Oh no,
arguing,
it's drama free.
Arguing, fighting. No?
No. I mean, obviously you're gonna have some arguments, but no, drama free, definitely, yeah.
Stop the cap.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead. What else do you bring to the table? What else do you bring to the table?
What else?
Yeah.
What am I said yet? Yeah. I just love to go on adventures together. I think that's also a big thing. I need someone who is spontaneous so we can go out together and
Sure.
explore.
Selena, what do you bring to the table?
I mean, I'm conversational, funny. Like, I like trying new things. So, like, you know, couples like adventures, I guess. Just like activities, traveling.
Gangbangs don't count.
I actually have never done a gangbang, so yeah, it doesn't count.
Excuse me. Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I think I have a nice body. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty chill. I feel like. Like I can get along with an array of people, you know?
By the end of tonight's show, I'm pretty sure we can get you to quit porn. What do you think?
I mean, it didn't work last time. So, I don't know. I
Well,
gotta
this
eat,
time we
like-
have Jake here, and we have Yael, who's. Yael will convince you.
She's a savage.
She will.
Savage.
She's gonna. Jake, what do you think? Should we get this girl out of the porn industry?
I think, you know, we'll probably do a 9-hour show tonight, so we've got like 7 hours.
I'm gonna try to do a short show tonight.
Maybe
Yeah.
another 20 hours.
30.
Another 20 hours.
One of these days we'll do like a 24-hour stream or something. But not tonight.
That would be insane.
Selena, do you want to eventually be engaged in a relationship, a happy marriage, children, all those sorts of things?
Yeah.
So what's the thinking with the porn?
I mean, it's just like, it's something I enjoy doing. Like, and obviously I'm 19, so I haven't been doing it for that long.
So you can get out and, well, you still can maybe.
I mean, I could change careers if I wanted to, but for now I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Do you ever stop to think about the detrimental effect that it might have on your future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
do you recognize that it's dirty money? I mean, I've made dirty money before in different various ways that I can't tell the United States Customs, but you know, it comes with consequences.
yeah,
So-
of course there's consequences.
Yeah.
There's consequences, but I mean, you could say that about a lot of jobs. Like, I don't know, like I'm at a point where it's like I've kind of accepted that there's always going to be judgment. There will be backlash in the future, like especially if I have a family and stuff. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it was a decision that I made to do this career, and you know, in life you have to kind of just like accept your consequences. You know, it's part of life.
But why this though? Why this particular career? There's a lot of ways that you seem like a bright young lady, but there's a lot of different ways that you could make money. There's a lot of different things you could do. Why that? It's like the most extreme thing that you could possibly do.
That is true. I mean, initially I just kind of started online, and it was more of like my fans wanting me to expand. Like I started out really small, and then I kind of just decided to do it, and it was kind of just like a rush decision. Like I wasn't thinking about all the backlash or future consequences, because I'm like, I'm young, whatever, I'm gonna do this because it seems fun and interesting.
What about the consequences now as well? Because of it, like diseases and everything is very rampant in that industry as well. Do you ever think about diseases, you know, sexually transmitted diseases?
For our industry, I feel like it's very safe. We get tested full panel every 2 weeks, and we can't work without it.
But if you have a blood disease like HIV, then it takes 6 months sometimes for it to show up.
That is true, and that's why I do PrEP, like the HIV PrEP pill, to protect myself from that.
Yeah, but there's other things as well that you could catch, and if you were to slip up,
I know. Yeah.
Wait, herpes? Are you talking about herpes?
I'm talking about herpes, HIV, all of these different sort of things that you could catch. Do you ever
Raise your hand if you have herpes. I don't know. Okay, go.
I mean, like, yeah, that's a fair point, but it's like, I feel like in our industry, like, we're safer than average people, because, like, we do care about being tested so often. Like, the likelihood is just very low, I feel like. I mean, like, 14-day, like, in a 14-day span, the only thing I worry about is people, what they do in their spare time, because I don't know if they're going out,
But
you know,
if you're
with
always
anybody.
engaging in sex, then just by that alone, then you're putting yourself at more risk. And also the numbers show that these diseases are much more prevalent. Like herpes is very, very prevalent in the porn industry.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And that's a risk you take by doing it, you know?
Is the money good enough to be doing this?
It kind of just depends who you are, how much.
It seems like from what you're saying, you sort of just fell into it. It's sort of escalated. You're aware of that there are consequences. You're not delusional that there are all of these consequences.
Not at all.
But you don't want to get out of it at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now I'm happy, pursuing it, and, in a few years, if I don't want to do it anymore, then I don't have to do it. I can quit whenever I want. Like,
Have you seen just recently in the last year or so, there's been all of these different porn stars that have finished their career and off themselves. Have you seen that as well?
yeah, I mean, I've heard about all those stories, and it is very sad.
It's like they tend to get sort of used up and then thrown away after their career, after these like long 20-year careers, and then they're not attractive anymore. And then once their beauty fades, they get sort of tossed to the side.
I mean, you could say that with anyone. And like, I feel like as far as like offing yourself and stuff, that's prevalent just in the world in general, not just necessarily within a certain industry. Like, you never know what people deal with, what they're going through, their experiences. Like, I don't know. I actually didn't know those women, so I don't know what they dealt with in their life. It could have been something completely unrelated to my industry.
Yeah.
Yael, you had a question for?
Yeah, I was just wondering what you thought about. Sorry, like how it might affect you since how old you said you were 19?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, because starting at like a younger age versus like people that are older. Not that I know much about like the effects on different people, but since it has like effect on people's mental health, do you think it might be worse like for people that are younger, or like are you concerned about that at all or not?
For mental health, I feel like I've always personally struggled with it. Like, I've struggled with depression, anxiety, and it's always been a thing. Like, mentally, I've always been, not the best. And I feel like even if I did a different career, I would still be struggling. And that's why I'm kind of just like, it is hard mentally to put yourself out there and be vulnerable, like your whole body and like everything. Like, it is difficult. And like, I do get judged like in every way, like literally every single thing about me gets judged, and it is hard. But I mean, I guess in the future I'll see about my mental health and the effects that it had. But that's just, it's life.
Really quick on the career thing. Did we go around the table? We did go around the table on the career. Yeah. I forgot to actually make my own point on this. So here's the reality. Vast majority of men really don't care about your career. Like, a lot of girls will say, I bring my career to the table, I bring my money to the table. Vast majority of men really don't care. It doesn't make you, when I say they don't care, I mean it doesn't make you more attractive to them. In the same way that a woman might be like really attracted to a man who's a doctor. Whoa, voice crack. Happens a lot. Doctor, lawyer. These are kind of more prestigious positions. Women will tend to really prioritize trying to date these kinds of men who have these kinds of positions. They're in high demand. It makes them more attractive to women. Women who occupy these positions typically don't become more attractive. So women tend to more highly prioritize. Posting this for Mason rather than for the panel that is uninterested in what quality man is looking for, but it still needs to be said, ladies, your career ambitions doesn't make his D harder. Yo, Desert Joe, thank you so much for the TTS, man. I really appreciate it. Good point. For example, like women, I don't know if you'll know this, like, so have you ever seen these concerts where a woman will be like, go to a concert, her favorite musician or whatever, and she'll like write a message on her iPhone, like, I'll fuck you right now. like men who are really high status, who are famous, athletes, musicians, actors, women like will significantly pursue these kinds of men and be like more turned on, more attracted to these kinds of men. But like a woman's status, it doesn't really make you more attractive. Really. You disagree?
I mean, I've walked in on a few patients jacking off in the hospital.
Wait, what?
That took a turn.
What is
Are they saying like what to you?
My patients, I would like walk in and they're just touching themselves, or they'll be like,
my God.
the door
Do you
will
think
be
that's
open
because of
and I'll be
your
like
job?
sitting at my desk and they'll just be like,
Maybe bro's bored.
they probably are bored. I'm just saying.
Got nothing else to do.
There's a point there.
Well, I'm not really sure if that's totally related, but
It's kind of related.
So you're saying men are very attracted to nurses in that way?
Maybe. No,
Yeah.
probably
or
just
could
bored
they
patients.
just be?
Yeah, or they
not-
just sit in there just with
Yeah,
nothing
maybe
to
it's the
do.
drugs that we give them.
I don't
Jacking their little
know.
wieners.
But like, here's the reality, right? Like, you're a travel nurse, you're an RN, you've done a bunch of schooling for that, you probably make good money. I've heard travel nurses make a lot of pretty good money. Nurses in general make good money. I don't think like you're going to be able to outcompete like a woman who's more physically attractive who works at Chick-fil-A. I'm not saying that to be insulting, but like a man will prioritize like a woman's.
Unemployed is what we
Well,
want.
they want
Even
someone
unemployed.
feminine, like in their feminine energy. And
Men want that?
yeah, men.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not just all about looks. I mean, men do care about being feminine, bringing peace, like you have a good positive disposition, these sorts of things. But like women will sort of almost project, okay, I find these traits attractive in men. I find status, dominance, etc. These things attractive in men. Ergo, men must similarly find these same traits attractive in women, but it's not the case. So women will perhaps sometimes confuse, in a sort of confused way, pursue a career or pursue status, thinking once I get enough status, once I get here in my career, I will become more attractive to men. It's actually not the case. In fact, as you get more money, as you earn more money, as you get more status, your pool shrinks. Not really so much from the male side of it, but because you now need men to either match or out earn you. You need men to have similar prestige, similar status to you. You often hear this with women. I need a man who makes as much or more than me. So typically, once men, the more money a man makes, the more status he makes, his dating pool opens. The more money and status a woman gets, her dating pool shrinks.
That's messed up.
Why is that messed up?
Well, because the guy, I guess, should be making more money than his wife if you want to have like a traditional family.
Right, but so that used to not be hard when women were not participating to the same degree in the labor pool. So it's very easy to be economically attractive as a man to women if the woman didn't work. And you used to be able to raise a family on one income. That's no longer the case though. So what was the way men typically, at least in the past, made themselves attractive to women? By being providers. Now, women don't need men in that same way because you're making your own money. So then you start looking at other things that will make you attracted to him that have nothing to do with providing necessarily, because you can still provide for yourself. So I think it used to be in the past, oh, okay, he can provide for me, then that's good, I guess. But anyways, ultimately, most men, if given the option, will date the 21-year-old hottie who works at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru over the 31-year-old, I guess still good looking, but lawyer woman. Agree, disagree?
That's true.
Agree,
I
disagree?
agree,
You disagree?
Maybe it's a difference between Europe and America.
It's got to be the same in
Europe.
Europe.
Should we move?
It's for sure the same in Europe.
I really don't. I think there's a lot more nuance. I think there's a lot of
Your
men,
countries are pretty
like you
liberal,
say.
though. Like your countries are very liberal, like those European countries. It is a bit of a different vibe there. But in saying that, a lot of countries in Europe are also very
Yeah,
Christian
there's
as well.
very
So oftentimes
traditional
the
countries.
girls will live at home until they're married, and take the whole traditional route as well. So it's a mixed bag over there. It's not like they're all
Maybe
just.
the area where I live, indeed. In
Well,
Netherlands.
Holland is very liberal. It's falling apart, if I'm honest. They're
But
going to be
I-
underwater hopefully soon.
So, like, well, they're pretty good. They're pretty good engineers over there.
Yeah, no, they're
They
good.
figured it out.
Sorry, they're good farmers. We need their farming. That's about it.
Like I think the perspective where guys will factor in, like your job, is, I mean, it could be a component insofar as he's like, okay, well, I want to start a family. Like it will have certain, it'll benefit the family if she's earning enough. But like in terms of attraction, it's not the same between men and women. Like, a girl will be really attracted. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, guys can make up for deficits in other realms with status and with money. It's not so much the case for women that they can make up for their deficits in terms of what men care about when it comes to attraction, which, I mean, the big thing is obviously
Youth, beauty, and fertility, you don't really make up for it.
Yeah.
With status and money.
So again, I would argue most men, if given the option, they'll pick a 21-year-old who works at Chick-fil-A over a 31-year-old who's an attorney. Every single time. Agree or disagree?
I think often, not every single time.
Do you think that for men of all ages?
I'd say often as well. Often, yeah. I'd say
Well,
there are,
sure,
I've met
it's
a lot
not
of outliers.
It's not every single time, but you know, it's let's just say it's the majority.
But a lot of the
Most
guys
men
in
would
these
make
countries are like institutionalized with liberalism, you know, and they'd be just as shocked as they are to hear about these.
Well, I suppose like they've been propagandized and brainwashed to some degree, but
in Australia it's rampant.
But in terms of like their like knee-jerk initial like what they're attracted to, I'm sure you'd agree, even with the brainwashing,
Definitely.
they're still going to be more attracted to the 21-year like more attracted to the 21-year-old who works at Chick-fil-A than the 31-year-old master's degree attorney, whatever.
But everyone feels like they need a self-censor these days, and that they'd be called out for saying anything else. So guys just won't go with what they actually believe.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Word.
Rough times.
Okay, let's see here. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. We went around the table about what they bring to the table. I think, right? Did you answer that
No.
question? I think we got you.
Yeah, I answered.
What do you bring to the table?
I'd say I'm very understanding.
Of cheating.
No, I'm very understanding. I would like to think I'm pretty nice, hardworking. I don't know. I'm good at communicating, and I feel like that's very important in a relationship. So if they want to talk about something, I feel like it's my job to make them feel like they're understood. And yeah, I'm like trying to think, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. We'll read a couple chats here. Maddie, can you read?
Females can be on the podcast, but ain't no way we can let one get in the White House. I would rather that gay but gay guy than a female,
Yeah. Go ahead.
especially a Democrat. They tried locking him up and killing him, but no man can interfere with God's plan. Vote Trump.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Mike Davis. Good to see you in the chat, man. It's been, Mr. Mike Davis, it's been a while.
Fact.
Where you been, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. Good to see you in the chat, Mr. Mike Davis. And then we have a message here from Alexia. Yael, can you read this one? Can you see the...
Sorry, just taking the opportunity to be a first-time supporter of the show and aid in the efforts for Mason. What a tragedy.
Hey, Alexia, thank you so much for the message via Streamlabs. Good to have you as a first-time supporter. Really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so where do we go? You know what? We need to do your dating app review. We're gonna get you a man here.
Let's go.
We're gonna get you your 0.11%.
Please do. I actually deleted dating apps for like a year, and then
Okay.
I realized that I had really
We
bad
got you.
dates in person too. So
Bad dates. What did you do to make it a bad date?
me,
Yeah.
showed up. No, just
Late.
kidding.
You just showed up.
Mr. Unicorn might be watching here.
Yeah.
While
Yeah,
we
tell me
pull
what I
up,
need to change.
can we pull up the dating apps for her? Okay. Is this the
no.
first one?
No, that's like the second or third, I think.
Are you sure it's at the start?
It is at the start.
Okay, maybe it's just out of order, but that's fine. Okay, so this is Gabby. Gabby's dating app profile. There she is is that Haiti?
Havar.
Huh?
Havar.
Where's that?
Croatia.
Croatia.
Oh, okay. Wait, the
That's
top
probably
one or
the red flag.
the
the
bottom
first
one?
The first one's in Havar, and then the second one is in Laguna Beach.
Oh, how did I confuse Laguna Beach for Haiti? Okay. All right, next. Can you read the prompt?
I go crazy for beach days, traveling, coffee, hiking, adventures, and good food.
Oh, hold on. Read it.
Dating me is like winning the lottery.
Where's
yeah,
that
because you
photo?
found your unicorn, Santa Monica.
Winning the lottery?
Yeah, because I'm a unicorn.
What's the chance of winning the Powerball or whatever? Isn't it like
1 in a million?
Less than 0.11%.
Oh, see, it's the same. We have the same odds.
wait? So like dating you is like winning the lottery?
Yeah. Because
Why is that?
you see how small my dating pool is? 0.11%.
Well, that would be you winning the lottery for dating the guy that you want, right? But
So it's same,
is it though?
but different.
Is it? Is it?
It's pretty equivalent.
Don't you think it's a bit prideful or a bit of hubris to be like, dating me, I am so fucking amazing and special that it's like winning the lottery?
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of red flags in there,
A
Gabby.
lot of red flags. I need to change it. What should I change it to?
A lot of red flags.
Dating me is like,
I didn't know what else to put.
I got it
Okay.
for you. Dating me is like buying 30 scratch cards and winning on one of them.
Winning like $1.
Yeah. That's fair,
That would
right?
be, and that would be funny as well. I'd giggle
Okay,
at that.
I'll change it to that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right? See, I'm already helping you out. Change that.
Okay, I'm gonna get hella mad now.
Dating me is like playing Russian roulette. I might ruin your life or kill you.
Wait, I love that. Okay.
Dating me is like picking up a needle from one of the back street of impoverished town in Philadelphia. Wait, hold on. Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going.
Stabbing myself with it and not getting HIV.
There you go. That's great. Because it's like winning the lottery of not getting HIV.
Yeah, that's great.
And it communicates that you don't have HIV. And okay, never mind. I don't get the winning the lottery thing though.
It was just a prompt, and I didn't know what else to
Oh,
put.
okay.
I totally just re-downloaded it, so
Would you date
I'm
an
not
average
good at
guy?
dating apps. Would I date an average guy
Yeah.
if they have a great personality?
No.
Oh,
So average
personality?
So average personality, average looks, average height, average PP size.
Dingaling.
Ding-a-ling. Would you?
Well, it's all about the motion of the ocean, but no,
You wouldn't date an average
not
guy?
like an average personality. That'd be boring.
What's wrong with average?
Do you think I'm average?
Yes.
Oh,
It's okay though. There's nothing wrong with average.
no, there's nothing wrong with average.
Uh,
It just sounds like it'd be boring. I'd rather be single.
I think average people normally like date each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like extremely beautiful people date each other, ugly people date each
I
other.
need to date someone ugly.
would you said you wouldn't, did you say you wouldn't be willing to settle? Is that what you said?
I would rather be single
single,
than
yeah.
settle with someone who's like average
Average.
and boring and like doesn't make me happy or fulfill my needs.
But what about when you're in your 40s, for example, and you're not really traveling as much, and you know you're not like young in your 20s anymore, and life slows down a little bit? Don't you think you'd be more happy to be with a guy who works in construction, who's 5'10", earns a decent salary, and he's a good guy, and you guys can make kids and have a family and
Maybe.
live a
My mind might
meaningful
change
life?
when I'm older because every year you learn something new. But at this moment,
But isn't it just a vapid lifestyle to be doing the same thing in your 40s and 50s?
I mean, I don't do anything too crazy right now.
But if you were still doing that when you're in like 20 years' time, don't you think it wouldn't be a very good life?
Yeah, I mean, anything that you do for a long time like could get boring after a while.
Yeah. I think if
I
I was,
don't
if
wanna
I was
be
still
single
doing what I'm
forever,
doing
but-
now in 20 years' time, it's like a nightmare for me to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't really think that girls think ahead that much with this sort of thing.
I mean, I definitely do. I want to have a big family and have lots of kids. But I shouldn't feel the pressure of society to.
I think we all need that pressure. It's like a good pressure that we've got. It's like duty. We
Yeah,
have like
for
a
men
duty.
to say that because guys don't have like a time clock.
Yeah, but we've got other disadvantages. You know, we've got lots of disadvantages.
Like,
Well, the fact that we don't get any attention sexually when we're younger. When a guy's 20, 21 with no resources and he's still probably got like pimples on his face and ugly, girls don't really look twice at them.
I mean, same with girls.
Are you joking? Girls who are in between 20 and 24 in their sexual peak, they get the
Oh,
most
I thought you
attention.
were talking about high school.
I'm not really talking about even young guys in high school. I mean, we should pull up one of my high school photos. I was disgusting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, we have to develop ourselves as men and get into your 30s when you've got more resources, you're more competent, you're a better leader. This is when you start to get more attention and you start to, this sort of thing starts
Well,
to
it definitely takes guys longer to mature because your frontal cortex doesn't develop until you're like at least 25.
And you have to make a bunch of mistakes and fall on your face a bunch of times and go out into the world and experience all different kinds of trials and tribulations. But that actually grows your character as a guy. But before then, you don't really get much serious attention unless you're like ridiculously good looking
Builds character.
or unless you have some sort of precocious talent. But so that's a disadvantage that we've got.
Going around the table on this, though, you said you would not be willing to, you'd rather stay single than settle. So would you rather stay single for the rest of your life than lower your standards or settle?
I already have the best man I can wish
Well,
for. so.
assuming you were single, right?
Well, before this, I was 8 years single, so I guess I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with an average guy.
And so you would date an average guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you said, average dates average and
Right.
all of that.
I would date an average guy, yeah.
And then would you rather stay single than have to lower your standards or settle?
Depends on the situation, really. If it's something that's going to annoy me in the long run, yeah, I would never settle for that. If it's something I can deal with in the long run, yeah, I would settle for that.
Okay. What about you?
I would settle, yeah.
Okay.
I think I would settle. I mean, I feel like in the long run, as long as he's like a great dad to like our kids, I feel like that's all that really matters.
Sure.
But other than that, yeah.
Word? Okay.
I have a question. Can
Sure.
an average man be the provider?
It is difficult in this economy, but it's possible though. Depends. If you live rurally, you can, but if you're living in a city or a place like Santa Barbara, then it is nearly impossible. It's a big problem that we've got at the moment.
Wait, you want to get married, right?
Yeah.
You want to have kids? How many kids?
3 to 5.
3 to 5?
3 to 5. Not 35.
Yeah, 3 to 5. And do you want to continue working while you're like once you start having kids, or what do you think?
I want to be a per diem princess. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's like, so for nurses, you can work full time, which is 3 to 5 days a week, depending on your hours, or you can work like 1 day a week, like a per diem job, where you just kind of work whenever you want to have an income, and like have a social life still, and still have like a normal routine and have like that sense of normalcy.
Word. Okay. Let's go back to the dating app. Dating her is like winning the lottery, gentlemen. All right, next. Go ahead.
Okay, it says, the way to win me over is plan a proper date, be a gentleman, and take me on adventures. What's wrong with this?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I thought that was the best part of the whole profile.
Next.
The beginning. That's the first picture too. And the first
Okay, that's the last one for the dating app stuff. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Okay, scale of 0 to 10.
I'd say there's a lot of red flags in that profile.
Oh yeah, the traveling.
The lottery.
The lottery was
Okay.
was bad because that's
Take
kind
notes.
of that would scream headaches for me. Entitlement, already putting yourself on a pedestal. I know it's a joke, and you know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're just kidding, but Also, the traveling photos. And the
Should I do a picture of
bikini
me
photos
with
on
my
beaches
cat?
around the world. I'd say, have you thought about investing in a burqa?
A burqa?
Yeah.
I have a poncho.
A poncho is the next best thing.
Okay.
And maybe a photo with a poncho.
Or like a onesie. I have a unicorn onesie.
There you go.
Oh, and then I could be like, this is winning the lottery.
All right.
You're finding your unicorn. Okay.
That would be better.
There we go.
Maybe
That would
you
be
guys
funny.
can-
That would be all right. But yeah, all of the traveling, and then when you say registered nurse and you're traveling a lot, it's like,
Travel nurse is a red flag already. I know.
Wait, you know that?
People always tell me that.
It is a red flag.
Why? What makes it a red flag?
I'll give you a couple reasons.
it happens in Vegas.
I think one thing, like let's say there's a relationship-minded guy, but and it sounds like you stay in cities a little longer than other travel nurses. But I remember when I was on dating apps, I'd encounter a lot of nurses. A lot. Like I've dated a lot
Oh, so you have a
of
type.
nurses. So, no, not my type, but I've learned.